when the greatest basketball player of a generation starts dropping cryptic hints about his future through his agent? Should we be celebrating his incredible longevity or preparing for the end of an era that might come sooner than anyone imagined? The NBA world is buzzing with nervous energy right now, and it's all centered around four words that Rich Paul, LeBron James' powerful agent, delivered like a subtle thunderbolt: just appreciate the present. Those seemingly innocent words have sent shockwaves through basketball circles because they carry the unmistakable weight of finality, the kind of message that precedes farewell tours and retirement announcements. At 40 years old and still performing at an elite level, LeBron James finds himself in uncharted territory. He's not just defying age, he's rewriting what's possible for athletes in their fifth decade of life. But even the king of basketball can't stop time forever, and the latest developments suggest we might be witnessing the final chapter of the most remarkable career in sports history. Meanwhile, the Lakers are frantically trying to maximize whatever time they have left with their aging superstar, reportedly pursuing Andrew Wiggins in a trade that could reshape their championship hopes. It's a fascinating intersection of legacy preservation and win-now desperation that perfectly captures the unique position both LeBron and the Lakers find themselves in. When Rich Paul speaks, the basketball world listens, and his recent comments to ESPN's Shams Charania should have every NBA fan paying close attention. It's important not to worry about the future when it comes to LeBron James. Just appreciate the present isn't just agent speak or media deflection. This is a carefully calculated message designed to prepare people for what might be coming. Paul doesn't speak in accidental riddles. As one of the most powerful agents in professional sports, every word he utters publicly is strategic and purposeful. When he tells people to appreciate the present rather than focus on the future, he's essentially putting the basketball world on notice that the future might be shorter than anyone expects. The timing of this message is particularly significant. We're not talking about speculation during a random interview. This comes as the Lakers are actively trying to improve their roster, and LeBron is still performing at an all-star level. When agents start preparing fans for eventual departures during periods of continued excellence, it usually means the end is closer than it appears. What makes Paul's comment even more telling is how it contrasts with typical agent behavior. Usually, agents want to maintain leverage by keeping retirement speculation at bay, preserving their clients' market value and bargaining power. When they start encouraging people to appreciate the present moment, it suggests they're shifting from business mode to legacy protection mode. The most fascinating aspect of LeBron's retirement timeline might have nothing to do with his own performance or physical condition. According to Charania's reporting, Bryce James will be playing college basketball this season, and his development could directly influence his father's NBA future. LeBron has been incredibly transparent about his family priorities throughout his career, and he's already achieved his dream of playing alongside Bronny in the NBA. Now, the question becomes whether he wants to extend his career long enough to potentially play with his younger son Bryce, who is currently developing his skills at the collegiate level. This creates a unique situation where LeBron's retirement decision isn't just about basketball, it's about family legacy and personal fulfillment. He's already accomplished everything possible in terms of individual and team success, so his continued participation in the league is driven by factors that transcend traditional competitive motivations. The pressure this puts on Bryce is almost unfathomable. Imagine being a college basketball player knowing that your development timeline might determine whether one of the greatest athletes in history continues his professional career. It's the kind of spotlight that could either inspire greatness or create overwhelming expectations. While LeBron contemplates his future, the Lakers are operating with the urgency of a franchise that knows its championship window is rapidly closing. The reported interest in Andrew Wiggins represents exactly the type of move that teams make when they're trying to maximize a limited opportunity. Wiggins brings several elements that could complement LeBron and Anthony Davis perfectly: his athleticism, defensive versatility, and championship experience with the Golden State Warriors make him an ideal supporting piece for aging superstars who need reliable contributors rather than ball-dominant players. The timing of these trade discussions reveals everything about the Lakers' internal assessment of their situation. They're not making moves for the future. They're making moves for right now, because they understand that right now might be all they have left with LeBron in a Lakers uniform. What makes the Wiggins pursuit particularly intriguing is how it reflects the Lakers' understanding of what LeBron needs at this stage of his career. Rather than seeking another superstar who might clash with LeBron's leadership or require significant touches, they're targeting a proven winner who can fulfill a specific role within their existing system. LeBron James finds himself in a position that's virtually unprecedented in professional sports history. He's 40 years old, still performing at an elite level, and facing retirement decisions based on personal fulfillment rather than physical decline. This isn't the typical athlete story of hanging on too long or being forced out by diminished abilities. Most professional athletes reach a point where their bodies tell them it's time to retire. LeBron is facing the opposite scenario. His body is still capable of elite performance, but his mind might be ready to move on to the next phase of his life. It's the luxury of choice that only the greatest athletes ever experience. The 4 championships spanning 3 different franchises mean LeBron has nothing left to prove in terms of basketball legacy. He's won in Cleveland, Miami, and Los Angeles. He's been Finals MVP, regular season MVP, and has broken numerous records. His basketball resume is complete in every meaningful way. This creates a fascinating psychological dynamic where continued play is about personal satisfaction rather than professional necessity. LeBron gets to choose his exit on his own terms, which is both a privilege and a burden that few athletes ever experience. LeBron's potential retirement creates ripple effects throughout the NBA that extend far beyond the Lakers' roster construction. Television ratings, merchandise sales, ticket prices, and league marketing all revolve significantly around his continued presence in the game. The NBA has built much of its recent marketing and global expansion around LeBron's star power and longevity. His retirement would create a massive void that the league would struggle to fill immediately, especially given the current landscape of young stars who haven't yet reached his level of global recognition. For the Lakers specifically, LeBron's departure would fundamentally alter their franchise value, season ticket demand, and ability to attract other star players. The difference between being LeBron's team and being a team trying to rebuild around Anthony Davis is enormous from both competitive and financial perspectives. One of the most complex aspects of LeBron's retirement decision involves legacy management. He's currently in the rare position of being able to retire while still playing at an elite level, which would preserve the image of him going out on top rather than gradually declining. However, his competitive drive and love for the game might conflict with the strategic timing of retirement. Every additional season carries the risk of diminished performance that could slightly tarnish an otherwise perfect legacy conclusion. The comparison to other all-time greats becomes relevant here. Michael Jordan's second retirement from the Bulls preserved his legend at its peak, while his later return with the Wizards added unnecessary chapters to his story. LeBron faces similar decisions about when to step away and how to frame his departure. Rich Paul's comments suggest that LeBron's inner circle is already beginning the emotional preparation process for retirement, both for themselves and for fans who have followed his career for over 2 decades. This isn't about creating leverage or generating headlines. It's about gradually preparing people for an inevitable transition. The Appreciate the Present message is specifically designed to help fans shift their mindset from expecting indefinite continuation to treasuring finite moments. It's the kind of messaging that typically precedes farewell announcements, even if the exact timeline remains unclear. This emotional preparation phase often lasts longer than people expect, creating a period where every game, every performance, and every milestone carries additional weight, because it might be among the last. It's both a celebration and a mourning process that can extend across entire seasons. Despite all the retirement speculation, LeBron has quietly expressed his desire to win another championship with the Lakers. This creates the most compelling reason for him to potentially extend his career, the pursuit of a fifth championship that would further cement his legacy as the greatest player of all time. The Lakers' pursuit of players like Wiggins suggests they believe they can build a championship-caliber roster around LeBron and Davis. If they succeed in creating a legitimate contender, it could provide the motivation LeBron needs to delay retirement and chase one more title. The irony is that LeBron's best chance at another championship might depend on his willingness to commit to playing longer, which conflicts with the natural desire to retire while still performing at his peak. It's a classic risk-reward calculation that only he can make. Regardless of when LeBron James ultimately decides to retire, Rich Paul's recent comments serve as a stark reminder that we're witnessing the final chapter of one of the most remarkable careers in sports history. The combination of longevity, excellence, and cultural impact that LeBron has provided is something we may never see again. The Lakers' desperate pursuit of championship pieces, the family considerations involving Bryce's development, and the legacy questions surrounding optimal retirement timing all contribute to a complex decision-making process that will ultimately determine when the basketball world says goodbye to its most dominant figure of the past 2 decades. For now, all we can do is follow Rich Paul's advice and appreciate the present moment, because the future of basketball looks very different without LeBron James in it. What do you think about LeBron's retirement timeline? Should he chase one more championship with the Lakers, or would it be better for his legacy to retire while still playing at an elite level? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear whether you think we're witnessing LeBron's final season, or if he'll find reasons to keep playing for a few more years.